And due to circumstances beyond our control, we're back. Happy Monday, 20th day of July, 2020. I'm Dan Kuntz. We're back at it for another exciting week of just stuff. Here we are. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you stayed cool. Hope you have a chance to stay cool for most of this week. If you don't have air conditioning, I feel very sorry for you. I mean, it was 80 degrees at midnight last night. We're already at 72. On our way to triple digits, it's a possibility. We're thinking right around 100, 101, right around there, and just as warm pretty much for Tuesday before a little marine air starts to filter into our area coming up in the middle of the week. But all in all, it's going to be a toasty week. It's July. That's what you get. It's warm. Forecast details are coming up. A lot of news to get to. Area law enforcement was unfortunately quite busy on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll have your latest details of what you need to know. We had a great time Saturday night at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. 4.5 hours of broadcasting, racing, and we got it all in. We got all kinds of highlights to send your way, plus the final results of another fun night at the track on Saturday night. That's sports, plus everything else you need to get your day going. With an opinion from Mike McNally, we got the obscure holiday, we got some celebrity birthdays today in history, and hello to charity, and also Douglas County Auditor Thad Duvall will be my guest. We tape this on Friday, airing it today. On Friday, you heard from Skip Moore, the Chelan County Auditor, and now we'll hear from Thad Duvall, the Douglas County Auditor, to get his perspective on the upcoming August 4th primary election. He, like Skip, is expecting a sizable turnout. So that information is coming your way. You probably have your ballot by now. Mine came on Thursday, I think, of last week. Can't remember now. I haven't voted yet. I got to do my homework and then I'll vote. 2 minutes after the hour on a very warm and pleasant July morning, let's start our tour around north central Washington. Not a cloud in the sky. Had a few late afternoon clouds yesterday. We're not expecting really any kind of cloud cover today, although the winds are going to start picking up again. Yeah, the gradient's going to tighten up. So on Tuesday and Tuesday night, we're looking at some wind, and maybe on into Wednesday. Yeah, wind and heat is not a good combination for us. Although we've gotten pretty used to having wildfires around our area, still, that's the kind of thing you really can't get used to. You expect it to happen. It's the way of the world, I suppose it is. Good morning, Wenatchee Valley. From this point forward, Megan decides, and I have to guess, and I'm guessing that is a beautiful view of, I'm going to say Lake Chelan. So I'm going to say, what's that? That's Union Valley. That's what I thought. Megan, I was going to say Union Valley. Good morning to our friends at Lake Chelan, looking across Union Valley towards the Bear Mountain Golf Course down there at Pat and Mike's, where it dumps out, and all those homes along the south shore of Lake Chelan. I suppose they were busy. Now look how calm the lake is. For those folks who either live or spend a considerable amount of time up at Lake Chelan in the summertime, there's a phenomenon known as, I can't remember what they call it, but the lake can be just super still on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday the lake is all choppy, and it has nothing to do with the weather. It has everything to do with motorboats and jet skis and watercraft and what have you. Makes the lake all choppy, but yeah, well, it's still a body of water. It'll cool you off. Camera number 3. Let's take a look at I don't know, Valley High. That's Black Mountain, but she moved it on me, so I'm thinking she moved it a little bit to the south. That's a guess, but I think the Black Mountain camera, which is high above Bishaston, is pointing almost due south. Normally we have it pointed at Leavenworth. You can make out Leavenworth pretty good. Not this morning, but you can still see the Cascades. Beautiful blue skies up there, and if you want to cool off, head up to thinner air and forest and stuff like that, where you got more shadows to keep you cool. And finally, camera 4. Let's see what's happening in Kashmir. Hello, Kashmir, from our Apple Annie's camera. You can see the Cascades. You can make out Mount Kashmir off in the distance, Mount Stewart, Steins, and everybody else hanging around beautiful Kashmir. The orchards are hanging in. Cherries, I think, are still being harvested as we speak. Then we'll be digging into the peaches and the pears and the apples. And, of course, finally we wrap up the harvest season in late October with the spaghetti harvest, when the spaghetti comes off the trees. Remember that ad? Oh, my. It must be Monday. Thanks for the tour, Megan. Nicely done there. Got one slide to show for you. Yeah, with the warmer weather coming. It says it's here. We hit 89 on Saturday. It was actually a little cooler than we anticipated. It's still plenty warm for us who was outside at the track. Yesterday's high was 94. Today we're looking at triple digits, possibly tomorrow. Really depends on how cool we get in the overnight hours. As I mentioned before, we're already at 72 degrees. Our record high for today is 105. We're not going to get to that. That happened back in 1979. I remember the summer of 79. It was, in fact, a hot one. So warmer weather is coming and is here for most of the week. And then we cool down a little bit, especially on Thursday and Friday with a gradual cooling trend. With the switch off there, the winds will be picking up. So that slide courtesy of the National Weather Service. Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling gives your home a hug. Here's your forecast. Wow. 101 today? Yeah. Not kidding. They say it's supposed to be about 5 to 6 degrees warmer today than it was yesterday. And if it's 5 or 6 degrees warmer today than yesterday, it'll be right around 100 or 101 degrees, 68 or so for the overnight low tonight. No wind today, no wind tonight. Tuesday afternoon, we start talking about a little bit of wind, about high of about 100 degrees on Tuesday, but in the afternoon hours, the northwest wind will be picking up about 9 to 17 miles an hour. Then the marine air starts to push in Tuesday night. We'll have clear skies. We'll get down to 67 degrees. You'll notice the wind will be about 12 to 17 miles an hour overnight Tuesday night with the occasional gust above 20. We'll give you a better idea of how strong the winds are going to be on Tuesday night by this time tomorrow. Wednesday, sunshine, cooler. Again, this marine air coming in, but still, it's going to be plenty hot for most people, 95. And again, a little bit of wind, not much, but a little bit of wind on Wednesday, 66 for the overnight low Wednesday night. Cooler still Thursday as the marine air really starts to settle in, but there's no wind in the forecast. That's going to be the most comfortable day for the week with a high of 89, 62 for the overnight low on Thursday night. Friday, sunny, warm, 90, 90, 93. So we can plain call it hot. It was hot yesterday. It'll be hot today, tomorrow, and Wednesday before we cool down in a relative sense Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And again, a little bit of wind expected Tuesday night into Wednesday before it dies out. Wednesday night as the marine air pushes in. Nature's air conditioning. It needs to be turned up full blast, like mine has been at my house for about 5 days. 7 minutes after the hour, going to take a break. When we come back, we got your Monday morning news, and there is a lot of it. So come right back in 1 minute, and we'll give you the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hi, my name is Manuel Navarro, Chief Operating Officer at Columbia Valley Community Health. Patient safety is our top priority, including providing care that just can't wait. With enhanced safety precautions, we want to ensure you that we're able to continue providing safe and efficient in-person care at our clinic. From in-car check-in, ongoing screening, immediate rooming, your family can get the safe care that they deserve here at Columbia Valley Community Health.
Green Motion e-bikes have rolled into Wenatchee. We've got fun, affordable e-bikes for the whole family. Portable e-bikes that fit right in the trunk of your car. Fat tire mountain bikes plus unique vintage style bikes you won't find anywhere else. Get some exercise with pedal assist or just cruise up to 20 miles per hour with the throttle. Starting under $1,000, Green Motion e-bikes are affordable fun for the whole family. Green Motion e-bikes is located right downtown on the corner of Palouse and Wenatchee Avenue.
72 degrees at 9 minutes after the hour, right around 100 degrees today, 100 degrees on Tuesday, a little cooler, but not much on Wednesday, considerably cooler on Thursday and Friday, and right on into the weekend. Here are your headlines. And we start out with the Quincy man who faces vehicular homicide charges after a wreck on Highway 28 Saturday evening east of Rock Island. That wreck killed a passenger in his car. The identity of the 36-year-old victim in the crash has not been released. 44-year-old Jesus Ibarra Barragan is expected of being under the influence when he was driving a 2001 Nissan Maxima west on the highway. Drifted on the right shoulder. He overcorrected and then crossed the center line. That's when his vehicle was hit by a 2015 Chevrolet Colorado being driven by 30-year-old Zachary Turner of Quincy. The Washington State Patrol said Turner's pickup then went over the guardrail and came to rest on the south shoulder of the highway. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene. Ibarra, Barragan, and Turner were transported to Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee with undisclosed injuries. The accident happened Saturday night about 7:30 in the evening on milepost 16. It caused traffic backups all the way into early Sunday morning. A 24-year-old Moses Lake man was killed when the personal watercraft he was operating on Moses Lake collided with another watercraft. Grand County Sheriff's Office said Tyler Holmesley was riding on the lake in the area south of the I-90 bridge when he hit a personal watercraft being operated by 24-year-old Wyatt Oscarson, also of Moses Lake. Holmesley died of his injuries early Saturday morning at Samaritan Healthcare in Moses Lake. A passenger on Holmesley's watercraft, 23-year-old Brian Roseborough of Moses Lake, hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. Oscarson, by the way, was not injured. The sheriff's office says the accident remains under investigation, but boating under the influence is not suspected. An unidentified man in his 30s drowned in the Wenatchee River near Monitor on Friday afternoon after a tubing accident. Corporal Randy Lake of the Chelan County Sheriff's Office said the man was riding an inner tube without a life jacket. About 50 personnel from the fire, medical, and law enforcement agencies responded and pulled the man out after he was out of the river near Sleepy Hollow Bridge. After he was taken to the shore of the river, medical personnel performed CPR but was unable to revive him. Two Leavenworth teenagers, you saw them briefly photographed, earned praise from local rescue agencies over the weekend after pulling a man to safety after he slipped off his flotation tube in the Wenatchee River. Anna Martinez is 16 years old. Baiju Zem is 17 years old. They were walking on a riverside trail Friday when they saw an unoccupied float tube drift past, then saw a submerged man reaching for the surface. Zem and Martinez, who have competitive swimming experience, worked together to bring the man to shore. The recreationist appeared to be intoxicated, and Chelan County Fire District 3 said he was not identified. In a Facebook post on Saturday, fire officials said, as you see there, for their heart, persistence, and care for a fellow human being, we at Chelan County Fire District 3 would like to say thank you. Your actions mattered. A body found in the Okanagan River back on July 8th has been identified as Alejandro Ramon Porras Vega of Tenasket. Okanagan County Coroner Dave Rodriguez says Porras Vega went missing back in May of last year at the age of 20. He was identified Thursday by a state forensic pathologist in King County. They had to use dental records. An autopsy will now be done in an effort to determine the cause of death. At the time of his disappearance, Porras Vega was wanted on warrants for fourth-degree assault and third-degree theft. The badly decomposed body was found on the banks of the Okanagan River near the intersection of Indian Springs Road and Highway 7, about 3 miles south of Tenasket. The Okanagan County Sheriff's Office is investigating the death. An illegal burn spread to a neighborhood property in South Wenatchee on Thursday afternoon. It burned brushes, a fence, some trees, and a shed. The fire in the 700 block of Lynn Street was reported at 3:43 in the afternoon. Chelan and Douglas County crews were able to quickly extinguish the fire, and it wrapped up work shortly by 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Chelan County Fire District 1 spokeswoman Kay McKellar said fire officials have not yet determined the type of burning the neighbor was doing, but an investigator was back at the property on Friday. She warned there is a burn ban in place that makes most forms of outdoor fires illegal. She said with hot, dry days, it's vital that people comply with all burn bans. A 10th person in Chelan and Douglas counties has died from COVID-19. A report from the Chelan Douglas Health District indicates the victim was a woman in her 50s. Her death is the first in the two-county area attributed to the coronavirus pandemic since May 13th. Over 1,200 people have tested positive for the virus in Chelan and Douglas counties. Confluence Health, which operates Central Washington Hospital, said after reaching a peak of 21 people hospitalized for the virus last week, there are now 16 patients in hospital care, 5 of them in intensive care. The traffic closure of Leavenworth's Front Street tourist area is now going to be a daily feature. Mayor Carl Floria at first ordered the downtown streets to be blocked off for pedestrian use only during the weekends. That started at Memorial Day, but he says the COVID-19 crisis and growing visitor numbers on weekdays mean the streets are safer when pedestrians can spread out beyond the sidewalk. 2 Leavenworth restaurants had to close temporarily in the last couple of weeks due to the COVID-19 infections among their staff. Floria issued the emergency order on Thursday, says it will remain in effect for the next few weeks, possibly months. City workers and volunteers have placed dining tables and hand washing stations around the Front Street area and offered free mask distribution to visitors. And finally this morning, ballots for the August 4th primary election. You should have them by now. They've been arriving at homes over the last few days in Chelan and Douglas counties. Very few contested local races. Auditors in both counties still are predicting a strong turnout. Statewide races on the ballot include 36 candidates running against incumbent Governor Jay Inslee and 7 opponents for incumbent District 8 Democratic Representative Kim Schreier. Auditor Skip Moore of Chelan County and Thad Duvall of Douglas County talked to me about why they're expecting voter turnout to exceed 60%, which has far surpassed the 30-something% turnout they saw in the 2016 primary election.
I'm anticipating around 60%, and I know that seems kind of like, what are you thinking, Skip? Well, a lot. This spring has brought a lot of questions in the voters' minds across the board. You know, how are we moving forward with the COVID response? How are we moving forward with our budgets? All these things, I think, have really bubbled up to a level that, you know, well, geez, we saw, what is it, 27, 37? I can't remember the number.
Oh,
I think it's 37.
governors, yeah.
Governor's race.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like, it's crazy.
Where'd that come from? Well, I think it's a sign of the times we're living through right now. Everything is so swirled around. Government is a lot deeper into our lives this time than it was 4 years ago.
This time than it was in February.
Or February,
Yeah.
exactly, February. So I think that aspect of it is going to push some response. Both sides of the aisle are fired up.
Calls we've been getting, people are engaged, and as much as a week ago, people were saying, where's my ballot, where's my ballot, you know, I want to vote. So a lot of people are engaged, they're paying attention, and I wouldn't be surprised to see us get a 60% turnout.
And once again, my conversation with Thad Duvall, the Douglas County Auditor, will air in the back half of this morning's program. And that's a look at what's making headlines at just about 18 minutes after the hour. It was a busy news weekend. It'll be a busy day today. I can pretty much guarantee you that. But the crew will be working together to gather the news, disseminate the news, and get the news on the television for you, as we like to say in the business, TV. Yeah, we'll have the news for you 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight with the preview of what you can expect tonight. Here's Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, today marks the beginning of Governor Jay Inslee's mandate to restrict the number of people at outdoor gatherings to help stop the spread of COVID-19. For the first time this year, 100-degree temperatures are a possibility over the next few days. I'll tell you more in your North Central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will have a look at what happened in the world of sports. That and more coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. Don't forget, we'd love to hear from you, our viewers. We try to make it as easy as possible. It's all pretty much web-based, with the exception of our telephone number that you see at the bottom of your screen. But you can drop us a note via our Facebook page. Go to Facebook, type in NCW Life Channel in the search bar. We'll pop right up. You can drop us a note via Facebook Messenger. You can also email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com. Or if you go to our website, our homepage, ncwlife.com, you see the Contact Us icon at the top of the screen. Click on it, the form pops up. You can either just drop us a note or submit a news tip. We're going to take a break at 19 minutes after the hour, and we got highlights from a great night of racing Saturday night at the WVSO. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Badger Mountain Brewing is proud to announce the grand opening of our new kitchen. Come try out our new menu featuring fabulous steaks, prime rib, gourmet burgers, and seafood grilled up by experienced meat master Chef Galen Goodman. To complement your mouth-watering meal, Badger Mountain Brewing features 14 in-house crafted beers, an alcohol-free root beer infused with 11 different herbs and spices, 3 different ciders, and a great wine selection. Don't miss out on the best meats and the best brews down at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Located at 1 Orondo Avenue across the tracks from the Pybus Market.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
We are back with sports at 20 minutes after the hour. Amy Mackin loved to do, she loved nothing more than being at the racetrack with her family and her friends. Amy did. She would have loved Saturday night at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. A 54-car field turned out for the Legends and Thunder and more. That included her husband David and Amy's daughter Jamie. And even though neither Mackin won their respective races, the Mackin family remained first in the mind of everybody who was there. Eric Granstrom and Andrew Kuntz have the call right here on the NCW Life Channel.
Chad Holliday going to 3. And coming out for winning the event he's sponsoring, he wins the B modified main event. Crocker will take 2nd. And Dave Mackin will be 3rd. David here, I know you're racing a little bit of a heavy heart here this evening.
Correct. My wife of 26 years had passed away on Thursday afternoon, matters of fact. So first of all, I'd like to thank all the sponsors for making this possible. I considered not even being here tonight. She loved nothing more than racing and wouldn't have had it any other way, so we decided to be here. But again, without the sponsors, this wouldn't have been possible. With that being said, you know, I don't want to get all emotional on everybody, but if you haven't hugged your loved ones today, I encourage you to take the moment. We found out Friday that she had cancer, and 6 days later she wasn't there anymore, so we don't know what our tomorrows bring.
Real quick, I know this is a special event, and it's special to have Dave here with us this evening. Super glad that he got out here. It's a brand new car for him. I'm going to donate my winnings today to their family for his efforts of being out here, and a little thank you for that. And thank you for NCW Life for putting this on for us.
Laps are winding down. Cannon DeLong, just 9 years old.
Oh, look out,
we got
cars into each other.
And the first caution flag will come out with just unofficially 3 or 4 laps to go here. I think they're going to go back to, four to go is what they'll call it.
James Hamlin getting tied up with Allie Mae Jones in the corner.
Through 3. Coming out of 4. Winning the Bandoleros tonight, it's Cannon DeLong holding off Jordan Mullins. Riker Oler will take 3rd. So who's helping you on this car?
My mom, my dad, grandma, grandpa, Jerry Pitts, Country Boys, anyone else that put anything in this car helped a lot.
All right. So how'd you get into the Bandoleros here, and how long have you been racing?
I got into the Bandoleros because I used to do go-karts, and my dad just decided for me to get into a bigger car and try it.
We're underway. No, they're going to say absolutely not, and we got cars getting together in the 16 car of Randy Schaff. The 16S here gets turned around, and he's going to take it to the pit area. We'll try this one more time. Northwest Focus Midget Series goes green at Wenatchee. Great start for Shane Smith. Charges out ahead to take the lead here. Nick Larson with a run outside of Marty Rosler looking for 2nd. Larson tries to stick it in here. Smith trying to hold steady, and at the line here, transponders say it was Shane Smith by a nose here, but Nick Larson's got the momentum and the bite off of turn 2. He's got to take the lead. But putting on a clinic here, Nick Larson wins here at Wenatchee. Shane Smith finishes 4.1 seconds behind.
That was a long green flag run. Really tired out now. The pavement beats you up, but it was really good fun time. First time winning here at Wenatchee. Been trying for the last 3 years, so finally pull it off.
Gardner by a nose at the line as we complete lap number 3. Winterberg is going for the lead now. He's going to take it going down the back straightaway here. Hopefully there's no fluids coming out of the back of that thing here, but now the He's been there right in front of your leader. Look out.
Oh, nice job of driving.
And that yellow flag is going
by
to come
Dale
out.
Winterberg to not get entangled in the car sliding in front of him. Was able to negotiate his way around and is still your leader. How about that?
Out of 4, Dale Winterberg picks up the win.
That was a really fun race. I got kind of worried there at the end because I couldn't quite run my line I wanted to into 3, and it felt like it was slowing me down a little bit. So I was getting kind of worried that they were catching me, but I can't thank John Doyle and Cameron Doyle enough for letting me run this car today. This is an awesome car, and can't wait to see what he does with it the rest of the season.
And they double foul for the restart here. We're back underway. Oh, contact between your front cars. Denny gets out of shape and loses several positions. And meanwhile, Weber is going after Shaw for the lead.
They got him up the backstretch.
And he's going to use the slower car of Lacey as a pick.
Well, Randy Schaff was trying to pull double duty this weekend. On the start of the Focus Midget race, he got caught up and had to exit. That gave him plenty of time to think about what to do here in this race in the Tri-State Legends.
Yeah, disastrous start in the Focus Midget main here, but a great performance here as he comes out of turn 4, checkered flag. Legends main event goes to Randy Schaff here at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval.
I almost had a bounce with the Legend too at the beginning of this race, but yeah, what a great place, what a great show, what a great day. A lot of work, a lot of effort. Really disappointed we didn't get to run the midget, but hey, we got some heat races, got our feet wet, and we got to win again here at Wenatchee, so what a great place.
All right, let's recap the winners from Saturday night. Again, Chad Holliday winning the B-Mod event to begin a flood of drivers who donated their winnings to the Mackin family. That's really cool. There's a GoFundMe page, by the way. It's been set up for Amy Mackin to help with medical costs and funeral arrangements. Afreitas Cannon DeLong won the Bandoleros race, followed by Jordan Mullins of Natchez and Riker Oler of Prosser. The checkered flag flew for Nick Larson of Monroe in the Northwest Focus Midgets main event, with Bo's Shane Smith second and Burien's Marty Rosler third. As the Les Schwab scoreboard continues, we see that Dale Winterberg, as you just saw, won the Plum Perfect Roadrunners main event. Josh Mock was second, followed by Arlington's Jamie Corbett third. And in the Tri-State Legends main event, Fife's Randy Schaff outran Billy Weber and Chris Belanca, both from Tacoma, to take home first place. By the way, the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, not a lot going to be happening for the next few weeks before their next race. That's scheduled for August 8th. And yep, we'll be back up at Fancher Heights to carry it live right here on the NCW Live channel. The British Columbia Hockey League has decided to delay the start of the hockey season until December 1st. Teams, including the Wenatchee Wild, will have the option of holding an extended training camp from September to November, however, while General Manager Bliss Littler said the delay was the smart thing to do.
I think he was really smart. I think that the BCHL showed a lot of leadership, even though it's going to create more work for our coaches, because we'll have other leagues telling kids that our start's so much later than theirs. So we're going to have to keep recruiting our own kids. But in reality, I don't believe the Western Hockey League, I don't believe the United States Hockey League will start anytime before American Thanksgiving. So I think we put the kids, their interests first, their safety first. I think our fans, the safety of our fans. I think our fans wouldn't be overly happy if we're playing games with no fans. We have to have our fans, and so starting December 1st, if the BC government approves it by then, I think it shows a lot of leadership on the BCHL's part.
Bliss Littler says the Wild will begin their camp here in Wenatchee, hopefully around mid-September. Littler and his staff, by the way, are in Las Vegas holding tryout camps this week, and those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday at the bottom of the hour. I have two national or obscure holidays, I should say. It's the obscure holiday. I had two obscure holidays to choose from. Today is National Pennsylvania Day, and I don't know why. I said, why is July 20th the National Pennsylvania Day? I did all kinds of research and came up with a big fat 0. But today is Lollipop Day. Yeah. And we want to thank George Smith But that. Lollipops have been around for a long time, and once refined sugar became much cheaper and much more popular, lollipops really took off. But George Smith gets the credit. The official story, back in 1908, he invented the modern lollipop, and in 1931, George Smith trademarked the name Lollipop after his favorite racehorse, Lollipop. So yeah, it had a gambling connotation for whatever reason. Very few people know this. A fun fact about me, I was actually in the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild. And I still have my giant oversized lollipop to prove it, even though I wasn't a munchkin. I'm 6'3". I didn't qualify, but I don't care. I snuck on anyway. You've seen those giant novelty oversized lollipops. You see them. I've never seen anybody in my life actually try to consume a giant oversized lollipop. And how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop? I never found out. Never cared for those. Happy National Lollipop Day, so grab yourself a lollipop. Summertime treat. Today in history, somebody had to be first. There's the opening ceremonies. It was 80 years ago today, July 20th, 1940. You're going to love this footage. The Arroyo Seco Parkway opened, the very first freeway in American history. And look at the footage, because this guy put together this montage of the 14-mile stretch between LA and Pasadena. It looks the same. It looks almost the same as it did 80 years ago. Do we have that footage, Megan? Go ahead and roll it. Check this out. Today, yeah, the freeway is almost unchanged. In fact, technically, it doesn't qualify as a freeway anymore, because freeways have to have certain standards. They have to have certain exits. They can't be too narrow and things like that. But when you look at it, the Arroyo Seco Parkway, and I have driven between Pasadena and LA, it's amazing that this freeway in a town, Los Angeles, that's constantly building freeways, looks pretty much the same as it did when it opened 80 years ago today. By the way, they're having a big party. Yeah, the very first freeway in American history, the Arroyo Seco Parkway, is 80 years old today. And by the way, just in case you're curious, there are almost exactly 12,000 miles of freeway in California alone. I didn't have time to figure out how many miles of freeway we have in the United States, but happy birthday to the very first freeway in American history. It's now part of the American culture. The highway that connects Pasadena with Los Angeles opened 80 years ago today. The Sea of Tranquility was the place. Apollo 11, 51 years ago today, man landed on the moon. Here is the footage from NASA TV.
How you doing, Control? We look good here, fine. How about you, Telcom? Go. Guidance, you happy? Go. Fido. Go. 2,000 feet, 2,000 feet, into the ag, 47 degrees. Roger. 37 degrees. Still looking very good. Your go. Top alarm. 1201. 1201. Roger, 1201 alarm. 1201 alarm. Same type, we're go, flight. Okay, we're go. We're go, same type, we're go. Altitude 1600. Eagle looking great. Roger, 1202, we copy it. 35 degrees, 750, coming down to 23. 540 feet down at 15. 1050 feet down at 4. Altitude, velocity, light. 3.5 down, 220 feet. 11 forward, coming down nicely, 200 feet. 4.5 down, 5.5 down. 100 feet, 3.5 down, 9 forward. Okay, 75 feet. Car's looking good, down a half. 6 forward. 60 seconds. Lights on, forward. Forward. 40 feet, down 2.5. Picking up some dust. Straight shadow. 4 forward, drifting to the right a little. 30 seconds. Forward. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. We copy you down, Eagle. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Yeah, well, reading a book about NASA and Apollo 11, the people who were in charge were more worried about actually getting the lunar module on the surface of the moon than they ever were about actually walking on the moon. They said the thing that they were nervous about was actually getting the aircraft on the moon. Once they got past that, it was a massive sigh of relief. And for the next 6.5 hours, they didn't do anything. Well, they did. They had a couple of sandwiches and some Tang, and they just kind of rested a little bit before they actually walked on the moon. So they landed on the moon on July 20th. They didn't walk on the moon until July 21st. It happened in the evening hours, but it happened 51 years ago today. Hank Aaron wore number 44. This seemed apropos. That is the box score between the California Angels and the Milwaukee Brewers at the old Milwaukee County Stadium. And ironically enough, Hank Aaron, who wore number 44, hit his final home run on this date. That is the actual home run. Drove it off of Dick Drago. And over the left field wall, it was Hank Aaron's 755th and final career home run. Of course, nobody at the time knew it was his final home run. I mean, it was July 20th. They still had the rest of July and all of August and all of September to play baseball. But ironically enough, the legendary Hank Aaron would never hit another home run again. Number 44 did it 44 years ago today. And for a lot of people, it's still the record. Happy birthday to Sir Edmund Hillary, way back in May of, 1953, something like that. He and his buddy Tenzing Norgay, of course, became the first people ever to climb Mount Everest. And you got to hand it to this guy. You know what he did with all of the money and the fame? He started a school. He started the Himalayan Trust to educate the people of Nepal. So he personally saw to it that hospitals and schools were built. That's classy. Didn't have to do it, but he did it. Edmund Hillary was born in the state in 1919, passed away 12 years ago at the age of 88. And the legendary Natalie Wood, not just another pretty face. She had 3 Academy Award nominations, died under mysterious circumstances in Catalina Island off the coast of Southern California back in 1981 at the age of 43, and they're still investigating her death all these years later. Natalie Wood, born in the state in 1938. All right, going to take a break, come back with an opinion from Mike McNaughty, then my conversation with Thad Duvall, the Douglas County Auditor. It's election time for you Douglas County residents. Thad's got some important information for you. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
COVID-19 isn't going away, and our community needs a pathway to carefully and safely reopen the economy. To develop that pathway, we need accurate information on the number of COVID-19 infections in our region. We have partnered with local community leaders to launch randomized testing in our communities. This will provide critical data we need to reopen and protect our residents. The testing is voluntary, free, and completely confidential. Testing will be conducted at 4 accessible clinic locations located in Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Leavenworth, and Lake Chelan. Although the actual procedure is slightly uncomfortable, it is quick, easy, and really not painful. Lab results are expected back in about 48 hours if you choose to participate. This test is completely free of charge and completely confidential. For more information about how you can help your community safely reopen, check your mailbox for a flyer for instructions. We are here to support each other. Thank you for doing your part.
At Earthwise Pet, we take an all-natural approach to wellness and nutrition. Our professional certified groomers were trained by the best in the Pacific Northwest. Our staff here at Earthwise Pet are all certified in pet nutrition. We are here to help you select the perfect food, supplement, and anything else you may need to make sure your pet is living its best and most healthy life. Earthwise Pet, Nutrition Center and Wellness Spa. Online or in the store, we are here for you.
Hey, it's
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, when I was a kid, I used to read stories about people who had regrets. Now, these folks would reach middle age or later, and suddenly they'd say to themselves, is this all there is? Or something like, why didn't I do so-and-so or such and such? Basically, they'd be saying that they wasted their life, their one life. Now, this made me think. I never wanted to forget that this life, my life, is a one-way trip, and I didn't want to waste mine having regrets that I didn't measure up to much. So, how have I done? You tell me. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 6th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tabor.
I'm Mike. And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the Doghouse?
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue.
Currently, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is open for dine-in and take-out. Owner Justin Hefner and his staff are just as excited as you to get back to their regularly scheduled full menu, music, and poker, so stay tuned. Meanwhile, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is serving a limited menu for lunch and dinner, dine-in or take-out.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. On Friday's edition of this program, we had Chelan County Auditor Skip Moore to talk about the upcoming August 4th primary election. And Skip filled us in on a lot of important information from the Chelan County perspective. And now to get the Douglas County perspective, the longtime auditor of Douglas County has joined me this morning. Thad Duvall is back again, no stranger to this program. How you doing, my friend?
Good. Thanks for inviting me.
It's good to see you again. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of primary election day, we were Thad and I were talking off camera. Of course, Thad lives in East Wenatchee and he drives up to Waterville to do his job every day, Monday through Friday. You know every rock and tree and pine canyon, I suppose. How many miles do you have on your rig?
325,000.
Wow, that's just crazy.
Yeah,
that's just a lot. But occasionally you take Badger Mountain just to break up the monotony.
I do, yes.
Yeah, and then you get to drive up to beautiful Waterville. I mean, what a gorgeous little town to work in. It's like working in Mayberry, isn't it?
Well, you know, just a little known fact, I believe that Waterville is, in terms of elevation, the highest courthouse in the state.
I think that is absolutely correct, yes. Yeah, I know it's the highest county seat, so I guess it has to be the highest courthouse in the state. It's a beautiful campus and a beautiful building. So it must be a nice place to work. Having a good atmosphere to work in is important. Lots to talk about, Thad, before we dive into primary election business. Obviously, everything was sailing right along in February and into March, and then all of a sudden, we went from business as normal for governmental agencies and entities like yourself to not business as normal. You handle elections, which is the primary topic of our conversation, but you do vehicle licenses and marriage licenses, and you are the auditor, so you handle budgets and things like that. How's your office been handling this COVID-19 outbreak since March?
Well, our office is closed to in-person transactions right now, so we conduct business by phone or by mail or over the internet. That's primarily the way we're doing it. And recording, for example, a lot of the title companies have switched over, and They do electronic recording now, so that's working out pretty well. You can come into our lobby and give us a call, and we can help you walk through stuff. But mainly, it's a whole different way of doing business than it used to be.
Now, are you going to have to adjust things as far as how the campus in Waterville is going to be open for Election Day, because there are certain accessibility laws and things that probably you have to follow, right?
You know, most of the public meeting laws and things like that, the government has waived, the governor has. But as far as elections goes, he did not change any of those laws or suspend them. So people can come up and watch the process if they want to, but they're going to need to call us and make an appointment, and then we've got a public viewing area that we can usher them into and let them stand and watch the ballot processing. Which is
the same thing that Chelan County is doing as well.
Yes.
And for those of you who don't know, it's very, very secure. I've seen it. It's limited access. They have to have the special fob to get in and to get out. And the general public can't go into where the actual ballots are being counted, but you have it all walled off and you can physically see it. So.
Then that's the way Chelan is now, and we will be that way. There has been money come down from the government for election security and COVID-19 mitigation. So in Douglas County, we're in the process of doing the same thing with our doors as well.
So you sent them all out. There are, as of the March presidential primary, 23,454 registered voters in Douglas County. And as a point of reference, and again, I asked Skip this question on Friday, I'm going to ask Thad the same question. We're going to use the 2016 presidential primary as our baseline to compare what the turnout actually was 4 years ago in a presidential and gubernatorial cycle to what Thad thinks is going to happen this year. The 2016 primary, 37.57% turnout in Douglas County. Thad Duvall, you think it's going to be considerably more than that this year?
Yes, I do. I kind of gauge that by the number of calls we've been getting. People are engaged, and as much as a week ago, people are saying, "Where's my ballot? Where's my ballot? You know, I want to vote." So a lot of people are engaged, they're paying attention, and I wouldn't be surprised to see us get a 60% turnout.
And that's exactly what your brethren in Chelan County said, and I have to be honest with you, I was stunned when I heard that, but Skip used the same reasoning you did. People seem to be more involved in the political process this year than they were 4 years ago.
Yes.
And that's good, though. I know you're passionate about turnout. You think everybody who is a citizen and 18 years or older should be registered to vote, and they should vote.
Yes, they should. I mean, your vote is your voice in the process, and you really need to exercise that right.
60% turnout, that's remarkable considering, and we have a sample ballot here for Douglas County. From a county perspective, there's just not a lot of decisions to be made. Most of these people have already punched their ticket to the general election.
Yes, they have.
You would think is it because of what's going on with COVID-19, the politicizing, what's going on in Governor Inslee's office, that people are all riled up and want to get involved?
I think it is in terms of wanting to vote, but it's a whole other thing to run for office in these times. And I think that might be part of the reason why some of the positions don't have as many people running for them, especially at the local level. Because that's really where the rubber meets the roads. We're trying to keep local businesses open. You know, there's a lot of turmoil, and so our county commissioners are just doing a heck of a great job trying to get us open and move us forward. And I don't envy them their jobs right now.
No. I have tremendous respect for anybody who decides to become a part of the process to put their name forward. In this day and age, it's not an easy thing to do. It's not even a very pleasant thing to do. But I always give kudos to anybody who's willing to throw their hat in the proverbial ring, to quote Theodore Roosevelt. How many ballots do you think you're going to get back where it's just going to be, I'm going to vote for governor and put it back in the envelope, and I'm not going to care about anything else down the ticket?
Well, in elections, we call that undervoting on the rest of the ticket, and we see a wide variety of that. I don't think you're going to see a lot of them with just one thing like that. We'll get a few back, but I don't think it'll be a huge percentage. But a lot of people do undervote the races they don't know anything about. Mm-hmm. They just decide, I'm not going to vote on that one, and just leave it blank.
I talked to Skip about this on Friday. He is of the opinion, and then I had to do the research, and he is absolutely correct, and I know you agree with Skip on this. Vote by mail has, in fact, increased turnout, has it not?
Yes, I believe it has. When you put a ballot in everyone's hands, you know, they really can take the time to look at it, study it, and vote it. And let me just say something about vote by mail. I think vote by mail in the media is getting bad publicity, which is not warranted, especially for Washington State. we've been doing this for a long time. We've got it nailed down, and it's very secure, and you can be confident in our process here in Washington State.
And that is exactly what Skip Moore said. He was quite complimentary of the United States postal system, but he also pointed out, you know, it's a human endeavor. It's incapable of being perfect, but you do the very best you can. And his recommendation to his voters was to, if you want to eliminate any kind of guesswork, use the drop boxes. Take the postal service out of it.
Yeah, that's correct. And we've got drop boxes in every city in Douglas County, and so you use the drop box if you don't want to use the postal service. Of course, postage is free now, the return postage, so either way, we're going to get that ballot.
You can look up your ballot and whether your ballot was received and counted. It's a very simple thing to do. At what point do people say, gee, I mailed my ballot into Thad's office up in Waterville 6 days ago and I'm not showing up on the database? What then?
Well, if they're concerned, they can contact us to see where we're at in the process. There may be a couple of reasons why it would be late. For example, if we pick the ballot boxes like once every 3 days or something, and so if you put it in there and it was 3 days before we picked it, and then it took us a day or two to get it into processing, I could see where you could get 4 to 5 days from when you dropped it into where you're credited. So it's possible for that to happen and still be in the normal process.
Makes perfect sense to me. You have a really good staff who does this, don't you? So,
Yes.
You know, you're the face of the auditor's office, but it's your people who are working the gears that really make it work up in Waterville, isn't it?
Exactly right. I'm thrilled with my staff and the hard work that they put in. They're very conscientious, and they're really making sure that every vote is counted.
While we have you here, Thad, let's talk about deadlines for people. You think it's going to be maybe a 60% turnout for this primary election, a remarkable number. There are people out there, I'm sure, who say, I'm not registered, or I haven't voted in 10 years, and I want in. What do I do to make sure my ballot gets counted on August 4th, Thad?
Well, that's a good thing to talk about because the law has recently changed in that regard. So as it stands now, you can register by mail or online or in person up until July 27th. After July 27th, you have to come to the auditor's office in person, but you can register in person at the auditor's office even up to and including election day. So you can register, we can vet that through our system, and you can vote the same day.
Well, that's nice.
Yes.
That's very handy indeed. Do you think you're going to get more people register between now and then, do you think, because of what's going on?
Yeah, I think so. Our registrations are coming in pretty steadily. In terms of voter registration, just an interesting fact, I took office in 1997, and our registrations from 97 to now in terms of total number of registrants has almost doubled.
Wow.
So Douglas County has grown.
Yeah, Douglas County, Douglas County hasn't grown by double, but the fact that there's that many registered voters makes me feel good.
Yeah, the population, because we had around 12 or 13,000 registered voters when I first took office. Now we're approaching 24,000.
Mm-hmm. And there will be a lot of people, and this happens every year, who don't even register until after the primary, but they'll register for the general election. It usually jumps up by a couple of grand every 4 years.
It usually does. There's usually really ramping up prior to the presidential general election.
Your brother in Skip Moore, we crunched the numbers. He estimates there's somewhere in Chelan County, somewhere between 18,000 to 20,000 people who meet the criteria to vote. They are an American citizen and they're 18 years old and they don't have a felony and they can vote and they don't even bother to register. That, which is to me a terribly sad number. Any idea what that number is in Douglas County? The people who are eligible to vote who don't even bother to participate or even register?
No, I don't. I know when you look at baseline statistics, roughly 50% of the population is registered to vote typically, but there is another probably 10 or 20% who could be registered who are not. So in Douglas County, that could be several thousand people, but I have never crunched that number. So.
That's a sad thing, though. It bugs me. It bugs the heck out of me. Thad, I know you have to cruise on up to Waterville and do your job. Anything else that's on your mind while I have you here, specifically related to August 4th?
No, I would just encourage everyone to vote. It really is very important to be civically engaged, not only for yourself, but also when I look at our upcoming generation. You know, it's important for that's one of the things I like about vote by mail. You can do it right there at home. You can do it in front of your family, in front of your kids. You can get them involved and engaged and explain what they're doing. It's a really good way to pass on a good feeling about democracy in our country, to do it in your home with your family and make it something that's special and important.
Do you think, actually, it brings up an interesting point, and I want to ask you this question, Thad. Do you think voting by mail makes a more educated voter because you're not in a line waiting to go into a booth and close the curtain and do all that stuff? You can do your homework on initiatives, on candidates. You can do a couple of things and then put it aside, said, I'm not too sure about this or that, and do your homework and come back and mark your ballot. Do you think it's a better, the voters who vote by mail, which is all of us now, are more educated and informed voters?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I think that's one of the big advantages of vote by mail. It gives you that time to consider your opinion and do the research.
Any questions at all? And as we mentioned before, Thad's got a whole raft full of super duper professional people. Don't be afraid to give the auditor's office a call during regular business hours if you have any questions at all about your ballot. Maybe, hey, I got married, my signature changed, or whatever the case may be. They want you to vote, and they want to remove as many barriers as possible to get your ballot counted on August 4th. And one more piece of advice, don't stick it in the mail on Monday, August 3rd. Don't do it, because the mail goes from Wenatchee to Spokane, then it gets postmarked, then it comes back. No guarantee it's going to be in your office in time.
That's an excellent point. Yeah, please use the drop box. Anytime from the last weekend before Election Day, use the drop box.
How am I supposed to get my I voted sticker?
That's a tough one.
Actually, the last time I went and voted in person, I took a whole roll. Don't tell Skip.
Okay.
Thad Duvall, the Douglas County Auditor. Have a good trip up Pine Canyon, my friend.
Thank you so much.
We'll talk to you soon. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
In the heart of the Wenatchee Valley lies a unique Ford and Lincoln dealership. This is Pat Armstrong Ford Lincoln, home of the lifetime warranty. Pat Armstrong Ford's mission is to exceed your expectations by taking pride in making your car buying experience as comfortable and timely as possible. This mission is consistent in every department, including parts, service, and sales. We are community strong and community safe in East Wenatchee.
Kindness makes a world of difference at Boswell's. Donate $50 or more to charity and save more than ever before on stressless seating. Save at least $300 on stressless recliners and office chairs. Plus save hundreds more with $200 off every sofa seat you buy. There's never been a better time to help others and fill your home with the unmatched comfort of stressless seating. Be kind and save generously at Boswell's.
This hasn't been easy for any of us, and we don't know all that lies ahead. But as local business owners, we can't wait to welcome you back. So as we reopen, we'll be wearing masks. We all have different opinions about them, but standing with your neighbor sometimes means standing in the uncomfortable. And you can stand with us by wearing a mask when you visit.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
All right, got about a minute left. Let's take a look at that hot forecast. Can you say 101 degrees? I knew you could. For the record, 94 was our high yesterday. The National Weather Service says we should be about 5 degrees warmer than that, which puts us right around 99, 100, and 101. Really a big difference there. 68 for the overnight low. No wind today, no wind tonight. A little bit of light wind starts coming in Tuesday of about 100 degrees with the afternoon high again. Now, Tuesday night, there's going to be some cool marine air that's going to come in. It's both going to pick up the winds a little bit on Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night, but it's also going to cool us down just a skosh on Wednesday and then quite a bit on Thursday, with a high of 89 on Thursday. That's when the marine air will be at its most prevalent, and then the marine air will exit on Thursday afternoon, and we start warming back up again Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But no question about it, today and tomorrow, the hottest days of the year. I hope your AC is working. Have a good and safe and cool Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.